Well folks, buckle up because we're diving headfirst into the dumpster fire of American politics. It seems even the hallowed halls of the White House aren't safe from the kind of drama that would make a real housewife blush. Picture this. March 6, 2025. A cabinet meeting like no other. Tensions are high, tempers are higher. And at the center of it all, none other than Donald J. Trump, Elon Musk, and a whole bunch of government officials who probably wish they'd called in sick that day. Now this wasn't your average policy debate. This was a full-blown showdown over government spending and those sweet, sweet government jobs. You see, our boy Elon, fresh off revolutionizing the electric car and space travel industries, had been tasked with bringing his unique brand of efficiency to the federal government. Spoiler alert, it went about as smoothly as a rocket launch in a hurricane. So there you have it folks, a cabinet meeting for the history books, or at least for an episode of this show. Now let's talk about Elon Musk for a second. This is a man who loves a good disruption, and he clearly saw his role in the Trump administration as an opportunity to take a chainsaw to the federal bureaucracy. And honestly, who among us hasn't fantasized about doing just that? Musk's weapon of choice, the Doge task force, also known as the Department of Government Efficiency. Catchy, right? It sounds like something out of a superhero movie, but instead of fighting villains, they were fighting paperwork? Redundancies? Look, it's government work, nobody really knows what they do. Musk came in swinging, slashing budgets, demanding weekly reports, and generally striking fear into the hearts of career bureaucrats everywhere. He even showed up at a conservative conference brandishing an actual chainsaw. Now you might think that's a bit on the nose even for Elon, but you have to admire the commitment to the bit. But here's the thing about chainsaws, they're great for cutting down trees, not so much for delicate surgery. And unfortunately for the federal government, Musk's approach was more lumberjack than surgeon. On the receiving end of Musk's efficiency crusade was none other than Marco Rubio, the ever-polished senator turned Secretary of State. Now, Rubio is a man who knows how to play the political game. He's all about diplomacy, tact, and carefully worded statements. So you can imagine the look on his face when Musk started lobbing accusations about the State Department not cutting enough staff. Rubio, ever the professional, tried to explain that they'd already offered early retirement buyouts and were working on a detailed reorganization plan. But Musk, being Musk, wasn't interested in excuses. This clash wasn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It was a clash of styles. A battle between the old guard and the new, between the tortoise and the, well, you get the idea. But wait, there's more! Because no good political drama is complete without a surprise cameo. Enter Sean Duffy, the Transportation Secretary, who found himself in Musk's crosshairs over the Doge task force's attempts to lay off air traffic controllers. Now I don't know about you, but I like my air travel with a side of not crashing into the ground. So the idea of firing the people responsible for keeping our skies safe didn't exactly sit well with Duffy, especially given the count 'em two, airline crashes that had happened since Trump took office. This, my friends, is what we in the business call bad optics. It's one thing to trim the fat, it's another to start hacking away at the bone. And in this case, the bone was public safety. Section 5, Trump's balancing act placating personalities. So with all this chaos unfolding, what was our fearless leader, the man with the spray tan and the Twitter habit, doing about it? Well, as with most things Trump, the answer is a bit complicated. On the one hand, Trump seemed to relish the chaos. He loved pitting his advisors against each other, watching them fight for his attention like gladiators in a reality TV show. And let's be honest, Trump knows good TV when he sees it. On the other hand, he also knew that this whole situation was a public relations nightmare. The last thing he needed was for his administration to be seen as incompetent, or worse, dangerous. So, in a move that surprised absolutely no one, Trump tried to have it both ways. Section 6, Scalpel or Hatchet, the Great Government Trim. Publicly, Trump praised both Musk and Rubio, claiming there was no clash and that everyone was working together swimmingly. But behind the scenes, he was scrambling to contain the damage. He issued a statement clarifying that while Doge would be advising on efficiency, the cabinet secretaries were ultimately in charge of their own departments. In other words, Trump was trying to rein in Musk without actually reining him in. He wanted the credit for shaking things up, but he didn't want the blame when things inevitably went wrong. Classic Trump. He even went so far as to compare the government to a body that needed trimming, but insisted that they were using a scalpel, not a hatchet. Now, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure that even with the steadiest hand, a chainsaw is never the right tool for surgery. Section 7. Efficiency versus chaos. Public administration in the crosshairs. This whole debacle, my friends, goes beyond personality clashes and political maneuvering. It highlights a fundamental tension at the heart of government: the push for efficiency versus the need for stability. On the one hand, everyone wants a leaner, more efficient government. We all hate bureaucracy, right? But on the other hand, government services are essential. We rely on them for everything from national security to food safety to air traffic control. Remember that? Finding the right balance between efficiency and effectiveness is tricky. It requires careful planning, thoughtful execution, and a deep understanding of how government actually works. Section 8. The aftermath. A reshuffling of power? So, where do things stand now? Well, the dust has settled, the chainsaw has been put away, for now, and the government is still functioning, more or less. Musk is still hanging around, although his role seems to have been somewhat diminished. Rubio is probably still picking up the pieces at the State Department, and Duffy is no doubt sleeping with one eye open, terrified that Musk will be back for another round of air traffic controller cuts. As for Trump, well, he's moved on to the next crisis, the next controversy, the next shiny object that catches his attention. But the fallout from this cabinet showdown will continue to be felt for some time to come. Section 9. The road ahead. Navigating the murky waters of government reform. The events of that fateful March day serve as a cautionary tale, a reminder that governing is a lot more complicated than tweeting angry rants or firing people on reality TV. It requires nuance, expertise, and a deep understanding of the complex machinery of government. It remains to be seen whether the Trump administration has learned anything from this experience. Will they continue down the path of reckless disruption, or will they embrace a more measured approach to government reform? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure. The American people deserve a government that is both efficient and effective. A government that works for them, not against them. And that, my friends, is something worth fighting for.